Well, good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic here from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. My name is Mike Avery. Glad to have you along with us as always on what is a beautiful Wednesday morning here in my neck of the woods, my part of the state, my part of the great state of Michigan. Hey, good morning, Paul. Nice to have you along with us. John Callison, nice to have you with us as well. The official timer, Carl, good morning. Ken, good morning. How are you? Cliff, nice to have you along with us as well as I check in live here from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. Kevin's along with us. Craig's along with us. Where'd you go, Craig? Scott's along with us. Hey, Scott, how are you? Congrats, by the way. Mad Jack, good morning. How are you? Josh, good morning. Nice to have you with us as well. My name is Mike Avery. I'm checking in live from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. My Jim says, guess what day it is? Where'd he go? Where'd you go, Jim? Jim says, Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Oh, and I'm not going to keep, hey, good morning. My brother Mike, Todd, good morning. Paul. Jason checking in from the Ford Dearborn truck plant. Yeah, it is getting warmer. I'm not going to try to keep putting the comments up here. I'm doing a little bit of a new. Okay, good. Nice text there. Lets me know that we're good for the studio. Hey, Johnny, good morning. How are you? Excellent. I just got a text from WTCM in Traverse City. They want to add the Outdoor Magazine minutes. That's wonderful. Appreciate that. 60 plus today. Swans flying over. Johnny, our good friend, Johnny Bowler, the Bear Whisperer. Bruce, good morning. How are you? Hey, Jen, nice to have you along with us. How is the video? That's way loud. Way loud. Was that distorted? How come nobody told me that? Jim says the captain's class starts Saturday. You're going to enjoy that. Trying a little bit of a different setup here this morning. I was not happy with the video quality I was getting from my iPad, so I've switched over to my laptop. Can you tell? Is the video any better at all? And how is the audio? Audio must have, there it is again. It's distorted. I keep bringing it down. It was, bears are waking up, huh? You took the day off, Johnny. Good for you. Do you have any more snowplow days in your future? Bears are walking around in the swamp. Audio is great, Ed says. Was it distorted before? Cliff brings up an interesting point. 2 weeks left in the there, and it just came up again. So, all right, let me ask you this. For some reason, it wants to keep bumping my audio up. Is it distorted right now? Because I keep bringing it down, and Tim says no distortion. Right now, Tim, there's no distortion. Excellent. Because, again, a little bit of a different configuration here, and it wants to keep bumping my audio up. But if it's not distorted on your end, all right, doesn't seem like it. We'll go with this. Audio is good, Craig says. Ben says no. Sounds good. All right, we'll leave it the way it is then. Anyway, Sunday, it officially becomes springtime. Now, I don't know what it looks like. Hey, Johnny, is it springtime up there yet, or is there still snow on the ground? Down here in mid-Michigan. Hey, Dave, how are you? Scott, good morning. Josh, good morning. It does indeed feel like springtime. Johnny says, well, I will tell you, I want spring so bad, but I'm thinking you will plow a few more times. Hey, Johnny. And Johnny, I will be bear hunting with you this fall. I just brought it up some more. If it starts to distort, tell me, and I'll try to make an adjustment here, but it's it's doing some mojo on my end here. Let me get rid of that right there. Good morning, Julie. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. Dave, always a pleasure. I haven't heard from you. Dave, were you here with us last week? I don't remember, but it's nice to see your name again. Even though I can't see your smiling face, you can still see. Dave said there's still snow in Gladwin. There's still a little bit of a snow on the ground here, but not very much. Not very, very much. Okay, so Bill, I'm with you. Bill says he's so ready to hunt turkeys. Bill, I know you're going to be bow hunting. Getting a little. I'll try to bring it back down, Tim, and I think my software will bring it back up. 44 inches of snow on the ground. Snow's gone to St. Louis, Michigan, home of Apex Marine, people who make the Angler Quest. Paul says he just went sledding by Johnny's the other day. Ed says, Mike, what day is it? What day is it, my friends? It's hump day. Yeah, Pat heard that. Oh, so what else? Yes, it is time. Negative. I did. Bill says negative. The good Lord put turkeys on this planet to be shot in the head with number 5s. I thought for sure you were a bow hunter for turkeys. Oh, interesting. Here's a report from Marty. I put the boat in on the Saginaw River yesterday, last day to fish walleye, and there were 1 keeper, 4 smalls. Huh. That's not the report I expected, Marty. I expected you told us you were going to limit out on big fish. Johnny says, and no message from Paul. Johnny says, Paul, if you're going to be up there, let him know. Yeah, the season has closed now on the rivers, except for the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. There was a pretty good crowd last night at the boat launch on the Tittabawassee as well. It says number 5 is the best for big birds. Paul is also ready for turkey season. Sometimes behind the house there in hell. There's turkeys in hell. There are turkeys in hell. I bet they have really long beards. Todd checking in from Kentucky. Good morning, Todd. How are things down there? I bet it feels like springtime in Kentucky, doesn't it? So I will be bow hunting for birds. Jason says 2 decent-sized birds in the field across the road from his place this morning. By the way, good morning, Jason. Nice to have you along with us. Yeah, it is getting to be time to get your new license. For $76, you can get a hunt and fish combo. That includes your base license, your all-species fish. I know. The hell jokes never get old, do they? Hey, John, I'm going to try to beat the record tonight, and I appreciated your graph. Talk about true insider information. Fog wasn't too bad on the drive in here at all, Ed. I guess it's patchy across the state. How was it when you drove across, Pat? Patchy? Yeah. Pat drove over from St. Louis or Alma? Alma, yeah. Johnny says, what time can I send you a text? You can send it right now, Johnny. I just won't read it for the next few minutes. Johnny, don't get carried away. I appreciate it, but you're so generous. There has to be a limit to your generosity. Ken says it's raining in South Carolina. Yeah, but it's probably also going to be 70 degrees today. All right. Yeah, John. Dave says, good morning, Pat.
Hi, good morning,
Dave Janis, who is the uncle of...
wide receiver?
Yes. Who now has a tire company in Oscoda or Tawas. Dave, help me out. Johnny says, it's all good. So anyway, I'm not one of those people who gripes about the price of a hunting and fishing license. It's $76, which works out to 21 cents a day. I have a set already. Yeah. Mark says it's foggy on the Detroit River. Both Oscoda and Tawas. His tire shops are in Oscoda and Tawas. What else? Wednesday night live tonight, 7 o'clock. We'll be giving away. Have you heard if the Bay Mike is open? I have not heard. If that's your question, I have not. Matt says $76. Mad Jack says $76 the only way to go. Yeah, people gripe about the price of hunting licenses. You know what? And I've had people say, I don't buy a hunting license anymore because it's too expensive. And this is my protest against the DNR. I'll tell you something. If you don't buy a hunting or fishing license, number one, because you're protesting against the DNR because you hate the DNR or you think it's too expensive, you're not really dedicated. No, Mike, it is. You said Bay Conference Center. That's what closed me off. Bay Valley. Yeah, it's closed. They closed their doors down. They closed their doors the day after our event. They were bought by somebody else who promises to revitalize it. I will tell you this. I have no confidence in them anymore. And we had a meeting Monday night, and we are looking at alternate venues for next year. Yeah, wow. That's what I said, Mike. Wow. They closed the doors the day after our big wild game dinner. We had it Saturday night. Sunday night, they closed the doors. Jeff said makes a good point. You can't even get a tank of gas in your truck for $76. That's a good point. I take my kids to the movies, my grandkids to the movies, and it costs me more than $76 by the time they load up on snacks and such. Yeah, so don't talk to me about hunting prices, hunting license and fishing license prices being too high. And if you hate the DNR that much that you don't want to give them money, then you got a problem. Dave said Jeff is doing very well. Jeff Janis. Ed says pick somewhere closer to Johnny and I. Ed, no, that ain't going to happen, buddy. It's got to be close to Trinity so we can shuttle items back and forth. Although I have nothing against the Northern Lower and the UP. We're not going to do our event up there because I did think, well, what about the Lumberjack? They've got a, I don't think their conference room is big enough. We had an event there. I don't think it's big enough. Jeff Janis makes me think of the NFL, of course. I had a meeting last week with another guy who played in the NFL, Mike King. He played with Atlanta for 2 years. He's actually a Ferris grad, and he's now the CEO of Brenton USA. Brenton Arms, very accurate AR-style hunting rifles, and I'm going to be working with those guys. Pat, remember that I told you about that meeting? Yeah. Came to fruition. Ed says, I am a disabled hunter and fisherman. I have a method. If you think it's too high, you're not a true outdoorsman. Bill says, a person who hates the DNR usually has paid them extra dollars in fines before. Very true. True that. Walleyesforwarriors.org. They are still looking. Oh, you did, Ross. Excellent. Because I texted Paul and he didn't respond. So I'm glad you got it. How does it fit? Was it the right size? And what do you think of it? Versuskins.com. I think the Avery 30 code is still good to get 30% off everything on the website. Bill says, true story. He's told this before. Jeff Janis and Tom Brady in the Michigan Stadium after hours. They snuck in. It's awesome and it fits well. Great to hear, Ross. That is something when you write your memoirs, Bill, the most interesting man in Michigan, that should go in your memoirs, your book. What else? Walleyesforwarriors.org if you want to sign up to be a boat captain. Ross Elliott would be my first mate. Ross, they were talking about you the other day. We had our wild game dinner debrief meeting to kind of go over what went well and what can be done better. And there were a lot of things that went well and a lot of things that could be done better. We hadn't done one in 2 years. Your name came up. They said, your buddy Ross is so generous. Your buddy Johnny. Your buddy Ed. And there's Daryl checking in from White River, Ontario. Daryl, I love the wolf video. Very, very cool. Good morning, Brad. How are you? Nice to have you along with us on this edition of Behind the Mic, here live from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. Jason Angler Quest road trip. You will be one of many Angler Quests out there, Jason. I'll be out there. Brad Dupuis will be out there. Several others will be as well. Appreciate you coming down for that event. I wanted to tell you who's on the show this week, but we're doing some time shifting. So let me bring up a different file. On this weekend's radio show that it's already in the can, John Cleveland of Eppinger, the company, Michigan-based company that makes Daredevils, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats, Ali Shakur talking about springtime walleye fishing on the Detroit River and Lake Erie, Lake St. Clair, Eric Hilliard of the DNR, and then Russ Clark checks in from St. Joe about their springtime steelhead fishing and their coho fishery out there in southern Lake Michigan, which is absolutely crazy. Mike says he's waiting for the veterans to sign up. Already have, I don't know what the rest of it is. Last I heard, Mike, it was early April, but I will let you know when I know more for sure. Already have a room for the night. There we go. Well, I will look forward to seeing you there, Mike. What else? Wednesday Night Live tonight, we'll be giving away April 1st, Scott says. Hey, John, I was just talking about you guys. John Cedar of Brenton USA, BrentonUSA.com. I had a very nice meeting with John and Mike King, the guy who owns the company. I will be working with them. You will be hearing more about Michigan-made Brenton USA AR style extremely accurate hunting rifles. I'm fascinated by these. I am more of a bow hunter, you know that, but I'm fascinated by these guns. Michigan made. David just bought a Rapid River knife, a drop point, a gift for a friend. He says, wow, is that a nice knife? You will not hear me talk highly enough about Michigan made Rapid River knives. You know I love Michigan made companies. And when they make a great product like Rapid River or Michigan Brand Meats or Brenton USA, I am as well, John. And I got to tell you, I was thinking about some things. One of the calibers we talked about yesterday, John, I did some checking around, and it's kind of hard to get ammo. So what do you think of this, John? John Cedar of Brenton USA, BrentonUSA.com. What do you think of this? What if I went with a 350? Jason loves his Rapid River knife. What there's Joe. I'm getting excited for turkey hunting as well. And you are coming down to fish with me this summer, right? I know you're not much of a fisherman. You're more of a hunter, but I need to get you out there on Saginaw Bay on the Angler Quest. And that's a genuine invitation, and I'd love to have you come down. What do you think, John Cedar, of going with a 350? I want a gun that I can use on a variety of things. I realize the 350 is a little bit big, like you wouldn't use it for predator hunting or something. But I'm also looking for something I can get ammo. Yeah, ham for the holidays tonight. It will be an Easter ham. Tonight we'll give away 7 o'clock, Wednesday Night Live. John says a 350 is an awesome round. He personally owns 2. One is suppressed, one is non-suppressed. So you think that would be a decent choice, John? I'm not necessarily recoil sensitive. All right, before it gets too hot. Before it gets too hot. For Johnny up there, if it gets above 40, it's too hot for him. The 450 Bushmaster, Dave says, and that is an option, certainly. The 450 is a very good round. Joe is doing a 350 AR build right now. Excellent. So you're a fan of the 350, I see. I'm not necessarily recoil sensitive, but I keep thinking about my 30-06 bolt action gun that when you pull the trigger, you know you've pulled the trigger, or my 300 Win Mag. And I'm thinking, if I can get good performance out of a 350 that's low recoil, why not? So that's what I'm leaning towards, John. Oh, the 450, he says their 450 has low recoil as well. Ross is leaving tomorrow for Washington State, taking Ramona to visit her mother. Daryl says, with the wolf season coming to an end, he'd use it. Dave says the Uberte, I don't know how to say that, lever action in 357 It won't be a lever action. It'll be an AR style. In fact, it'll be Brenton USA AR style. Made in Lansing, by the way, just down the road from the governor's office. Dave says try the 450 first. Maybe I should shoot it, huh, John? Maybe I should get together with you and shoot one first. Hey, Charlie, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
27-inch barrel fixed stock will leave you wanting more. I don't know about that. I'm set. I think I'm set. I don't know.
You have 1 minute.
I have 1 minute. Okay. I figured you could make that happen, John. Good morning. Hey, all right, Pat, you'll come back for the Polarcraft Podcast, correct? Oh, Charlie's doing them both? Well, listen, it's been good seeing you, my friend. Good morning, Lee. How are you? Yeah, starting the first weekend in April, you will see a heavy presence of Michigan-made. That's the beauty of the ARs, hey, Tim? You'll see a very heavy presence, a strong presence of Brenton USA, BrentonUSA.com, Michigan-made AR-style, highly accurate hunting rifle. I'm fascinated by the ARs. Craig says the 450 is awesome. So a lot of you guys are pointing me towards the 450, including John. 30 seconds. Oh, I need to start a timer here. I didn't do that. Since I'm doing something different, head to Oscar and Joey's. Wonderful, Ross. Ross, you're a great guy. I mean, honestly, you're just I can't say enough about you, Ross. And the people at Trinity can't say enough about you, Ross. Lee's trying to decide between the 450 and the 350. I'm not ready yet, Charlie. I got to start. All right, I guess I'm ready. I guess. Timer. Let's make it go for, what do you say, Charlie? Like 11:50? 11:50 and start. Okay. Since I'm using my laptop, because I wanted to get a little better image quality, but I'm not sure I like the framing, I may go back to my iPad. On my iPad, I split the screen and I put my streaming software on one side and anyway, you don't care. Hey, I'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock, for another edition of Wednesday Night Live, where we'll give away a Michigan brand ham. All right. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine Show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. More than 30 stations across the great state of Michigan, a 3-hour weekly show dedicated to the outdoors, to the outdoor lifestyle, hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping and conservation issues and wildlife issues and even some wild game cooking. I'm here for 3 hours each week, as I have been for many, many years. And I plan to be for a few more years, and I'm so glad to have you along with us. We're still doing some time shifting. So again, you have me at a little bit of a disadvantage for maybe just another week or so. So if something happens and I'm not talking about it, it's because it hasn't happened yet. Soon we'll be out of this time shifting cycle. So as you are listening to this show, it is officially spring and has been for about a week. Does it look like it's spring outside your window? What's it look like in your neck of the woods? Here where I live, it certainly feels like spring. That means what? Well, that means it's time to get our new hunting and fishing licenses. I can't wait to hear the people who cry and complain about the cost of our Michigan hunting and fishing licenses. For $76, you can get the hunting and fishing combo for 2022 for $76. What does that give you? It gives you an all-species fishing license. It gives you the base license, which is basically your small game license. And it gives you 2 deer tags. Now, obviously, it doesn't include waterfowl. It doesn't include turkey. It doesn't include elk. It doesn't include bear. But all of the licenses you need to hunt or fish for 365 days a year for $76. That's 21 cents a day. It astonishes me that people gripe about the cost of it. You can't fill your truck up these days with gas for $76. I can't. I take my grandkids to the movie theater for a 2-hour movie, and by the time we buy the tickets and fill them up with popcorn and pop and snacks, it's more than $76. I think it's a great deal. People say, well, I got my wife and I and 6 kids. Well, it is what it is. If you are truly committed to this outdoor lifestyle of hunting and fishing, and you know that money, a lot of it goes to a good cause, right? I can't imagine griping about it. I know you hate the DNR. You don't want to give the DNR any money. Okay. If you're so mad at the DNR that you won't pay to hunt or fish every day of the year, then there's another issue at stake here. There's another issue at play here. There's another larger issue here, right? So I bring it up, just a reminder, it is time to get your new hunting and fishing licenses. And I will pay $76, and then I'll pay for a turkey license, and then I'll pay hopefully for a bear license, and I'll do it with a smile. Turkey season just around the corner now. I'm pretty excited, I will admit. And yes, I'll pay another few bucks for my turkey license. Oh, Avery. Oh, you're rich. I'm not rich. But I do think our hunting and fishing licenses are a good value, a good deal. Go out of state, pay their rates, see how much you have to pay. I will be out there with my dart and crossbow, sitting in a blind, always a primal blind. In fact, Bob Ransom will be along next week to talk about blinds. No, he's coming up later in this show, actually, as I think about it. Time shifting has me a little bit screwed up. But I will admit, my curiosity has been piqued about doing a little more gun hunting this year. I have nothing against guns. I love guns. I have a lot of handguns. Well, let me rephrase that. I have some handguns. Depending on who is asking the question is how I will answer the question. I have some handguns, and I have some other guns as well, including a couple of AR style guns. But they're not hunting guns. I could use them for hunting, I guess, but they're 223 5.56. They're considered, if it hits the fan type thing, home defense, quotes combat style guns. So I haven't shot them much. I'll be honest with it. I'm honest with you. I'm fascinated by the concept, the AR concept. And AR does not stand for assault rifle. I grew up hunting, I started out with a single shot 20 gauge. I remember for Christmas one year, I got a single shot Savage or Stevens or Ithaca. I don't remember what it was, 20 gauge. And that was my introduction to hunting, as it is for many people. That 20 gauge is a very versatile gun. You put a slug in it, you can deer hunt with it. Put, shot shells in it to go rabbit hunting or squirrel hunting or pheasant hunting, whatever. And the single shot is extremely safe. And then I graduated when I got maybe a year older, when my dad wasn't using his 30-06 Remington semi-auto, I got to use that. So that's what I grew up hunting with. Single shot shotgun, semi-auto, 30-06. A couple of years ago, I bought myself an inexpensive 30-06 bolt action gun to deer hunt with, because I in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, an .06 or a 30-30 is the gun to hunt deer with. But I'm still fascinated by the AR platform. It's like Legos for adults, right? They're very versatile. You can do a lot of things with them. So that's why I was so excited to get together and meet with John Cedar and Mike King of Brenton, USA. a Michigan-made AR-style, extremely accurate hunting rifle. And they're made in Lansing, just down the road from the governor's office. How cool is that? 450 Bushmaster, 350 Bushmaster, Blackout, Whisper, Grendel, Valkyrie, 223. I mean, the whole gamut. So I'm trying to decide what caliber to go with. You know, do I have one made up in the 450 Bushmaster that is so popular these days? Go to the 350 Legend? I don't know. 6.5 Grendel? I don't know. I'm looking for something that I can that ammo is readily available. And I think I will be deer hunting this fall a little bit more with a gun. I'm never going to give up my bow or my crossbow. I'm a bow hunter at heart, but boy, the thought of using an AR style, accurate Michigan-made gun for deer hunting really does appeal to me. And you'll be hearing a lot more about these guys. What else? Wednesday Night Live, right on through Easter. We will continue our Ham for the Holidays giveaway, courtesy of our good friends from Michigan Brand Meats. They've been so generous. Starting in the fall, we give away ham for the holidays every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We do it now right on through Easter. All you have to do is tune in at 7 o'clock to my Wednesday Night Live, either on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn. I don't routinely put them on Instagram, and that's an Instagram thing. That's not an Avery thing. But tune in every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and we'll be giving away a Michigan brand ham. Walleye for Warriors, an event I'm very much actively involved in. That's on Saginaw Bay. It's June 11th and 12th this summer. They're still looking for boat captains. Go to the website walleyesforwarriors.org, walleyesforwarriors.org. You can sign up to be a boat captain. Excuse me. And very soon now, the website will open up to veterans, non-boat captains, to get involved as well. Walleyesforwarriors.org, walleyesforwarriors.org. Keep an eye on that. Detroit River walleye. I'm hoping to get down there and do some walleye fishing. Of course, walleye fishing on inland lakes and most of the rivers across the state is closed now. But Detroit River, St. Clair River are open year-round. Of course, the Great Lakes open year-round as well. There's something about getting down there on that Detroit River I find fascinating. I only do it maybe once a year, every couple of years, but maybe I can sneak a trip down there this year. In fact, maybe we'll do a Wednesday Night Live. We've done those in the past. Brad Dupuy of Angler Quest and I head on down and do a Wednesday Night Live from the Detroit River. Maybe we'll do that. Coming up on this week's show, the tick terminator, Brian Anderson. He said it's not too early to start thinking about ticks, worrying about ticks. Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands, talking about their ground blinds for turkey season. Franklin Hayes, a new member of the Michigan Wildlife Council, will join me in hour number 2. Dave Rose talks about pier fishing and surf fishing. Nick Green of MUCC with a full plate. Then this week's Ask Avery segment. And in hour number 3, we'll talk a little bit more fishing with Brian Darland of Jay's Sporting Goods, jaysportinggoods.com. And, of course, we'll wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire Dave Miner. That's all coming up this week right here on Outdoor Magazine. All right. Yeah, I couldn't figure out which show am I recording and which show is this weekend. So anyway, tonight, I don't know if I'm going to stick with this. I don't really like this. I'll check the video and audio quality later to see what it looks like, but I think I'll probably go back to my iPad. It just seems a little bit more convenient. So anyway, thank you, my friends, for joining me on this edition of Behind the Mic. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you can join me tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live when we give away another ham for the holidays, courtesy of our friends from Michigan Brand Meats. Have a great day. Enjoy the weather.